Welcome to the FOH Podcast again. Here we are. Let me pull up my people.
What up, y'all? What up? What do you do?
We were just having a laugh and a few technical difficulties in the background. I'm hearing a lot nowadays that's kind of the theme with podcasts is when you go on live, you know, a lot of these platforms, they can't handle it. And so, you know, motherfuckers be frozen doing the robot voice and and all the crazy shit. But welcome to the show, y'all. If you're new to the show and you're just tuning in, we are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is the Fuck Out of Here podcast. And so we welcome everyone, you know, to join in. And on Fridays, we have Firewater Friday. You know what I mean? We also do after hours on Fridays. You can drink with us. We play some drinking games. You know, if you don't want to cheat yourself, you could join in. And we also advise that you punch in on the show and use your voice. That's what you got it for. You know what I'm saying? Use your voice. But this isn't Friday.
Monday.
This is Monday. And Mondays are what days, y'all?
Motivation Monday.
Motivation Monday. So how could I talk about motivation? I mean, I could, but today, how could I talk about motivation and get into this with my guys? Without talking about Kevin Hart. Did y'all watch the special?
The special? Which special? I didn't know he did a special.
Yeah. He's got a new special on Netflix. But, you know, critics been going crazy. I'll get into it. You know, basically Kevin Hart, he responded to all the critics. You know, half the critics are always comedians. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Everybody like to dig into Kevin Hart. Because Kevin Hart is Kevin Hart. You look at him and you wonder, what is it that people think is so funny about him if you don't find him hilarious? And, you know, sometimes that bothers people when they can't figure out what it is about someone else that everyone likes. Or maybe they can't figure out why they like that person. I don't know. And maybe it just twists up and turns into hate. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about the Tyson fight.
Oh, wow.
We're going to talk about Nate. We're going to talk about I'm going to hold it up on y'all. We're going to talk about gaming a little bit. Just a little bit. But, you know, first of all, you know, we sit down, we get comfortable here on the show. We relax and we get ready to enjoy ourselves. And that means that people who do not deserve to enjoy us, we relax and those who are watching, enjoy ourselves. You know, that means we have to throw someone out who does not belong.
Throw him out.
Ain't that right,
Fuck out of
DJ?
here. Fuck out of here.
So I'll do a general one today. I have a couple, but maybe we'll get into those. Like I said, I don't want to get ahead of myself with the show. So we'll just say, you know, if you're looking so deep to try to figure out why people like someone else, in short, you are a hater. You don't need to figure out why somebody else likes somebody else. You know, unless somehow you're involved. Oh, they like that person because that person been lying about me. You know, I guess. To me, that's still none of my damn business. That's on them. If you're a fool enough to believe what someone else says about me without talking to me about it, honestly, you shouldn't even talk to me about it. I don't give a shit what they saying. Keep it to yourself. It's up to you to believe it or not. But if you jump to conclusions and you accept everything
Prahphet,
that you're told that sounds nasty, what you gonna say, Big Luck, on that one?
Hey, AOP.
Yeah.
Hey, it sound like you sound like Roger from Zap right now.
Yeah, you got a bad connection over there, Big Luck.
Yeah. You're singing California Love right now.
Yeah, you gotta go to a different room in your house so you can get a better connection.
Yeah, you know. Your audio sound kind of fucked.
When you watch the show back, you're gonna find out that you were the one that was actually fucked.
Well, I'm sorry if I
I told him he don't want to listen.
The bad part is he sound like Charlie Brown's teacher.
Right. He over there sounding like a robot trying to get a nut. And thus, we throwing haters out. But I gotta wait for Big Luck to get back. There he is. And we throwing haters out.
Okay, so now you want to kick me out because I say you sound like California Love singing right now?
You out. You are the one with the fucked up connection.
Man,
we have already established that. And we have moved on from there.
Well, I'm going to need you to stop spitting on the mic when you talk.
Like I was saying about Kevin Hart. Shit. Like you never thought. Okay. Kevin Hart was saying basically a lot of the critics were on some fucking, he ain't the old Kevin Hart. And Kevin Hart was like, if you want the old Kevin Hart, you want the Kevin Hart of old, go and watch it because I'm different. He gives an example of a rapper that no longer raps about drugs and everyone calling him a sellout and saying that he's not the old him, that artist. And, because this artist has found growth. That was his example. He says, critics, he doesn't give a fuck what people have to say. Cat Williams chimed in and a bunch of other comedians. I don't like to proliferate beef. So, if you want to hear what they had to say, you can go and look at it. But a lot of comedians are saying at no point do you not give a fuck. Okay. And you should care whether or not you change things about your approach because your fans matter. Even if they say your last special was trash. Right. That's easy to say when you haven't had 7 consecutive, huge stand-up specials. So you have to keep that in mind and take a lot of this shit with a grain of salt because a lot of people's opinions are coming from a place that can't really speak from the perspective. I didn't hear Eddie Murphy say shit. So I don't know. To me, that's where it would really matter. What does Dave Chappelle think about Kevin Hart's last special and what people are saying? Like, that's that level. I'm not saying Kevin Hart is on that level as a comedian. All entertainment is socially subjective. I'm just calling what I've seen, right? So I think with everything going on in the world, that he took a hell of a shot. Especially since Dave Chappelle did a special during this pandemic and shit.
Well,
and it was crazy because the man is political and serious and his shit is real, and he's a hard act to follow. Before you speak on it, Luck, I just wanted to say that Kevin Hart and Chris Rock I seen in a different interview where he was telling a story that Dave Chappelle was in the club and Dave showed up and he said he was going to go on. So he went on and Chris Rock and Kev had been writing some stuff. And he said after Dave Chappelle came off the stage, They bought all that shit up. Like, nah, we on the wrong page. So it might be that kind of feel for this kind of a circumstance where to do who Kevin Hart is no longer anyway through all the shit that he's gone through and dealing with this isolation that we have. Hey man, what you got to say about that, Big Luck?
Look, for one, I don't even watch Kevin Hart because the motherfucker's about as funny as pulling teeth while you smoking sherm. Like, that nigga is not funny, bro. That nigga is not funny. I mean, and I mean, people think he's funny because I guess, the nigga 4'4". You know what I'm saying?
Be careful with the height now. Be careful with the height now.
No, not like, look, check this out, bro. You're actually funny. You know what I'm saying?
I understand where you're coming from.
And don't get me wrong, I ain't hating on the man because whatever he did to make his fortune, that's fine. And like you said, everybody's up to their own opinion, but I've never seen a Kevin Hart special because, nigga about, funny to me, like, you getting the AIDS result test coming back. Like, nigga, that shit ain't funny. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, my nigga, just like I say, to each his own, I have nothing to say good or bad about it. You know what I'm saying? So whatever he said and people was offended by it, you shouldn't be offended by what people say. Honestly, we say fucked up rude shit every day.
But see, the whole thing, bruh, Kevin Hart came out some years back, of course. But he was funny then. He had something new to bring to the table. The whole thing is where he stopped getting funny, he kept doing the same thing over and over. Even in some of his specials. I mean, when you first come on, it's all cool, but then you're doing the same kind of act, or you sound the same, and it's irritating to me.
Yeah, well, why change up when it made you $100 million? Why change up? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that was the whole thing. A lot of things he didn't change. Yeah, can't even do it no more. It used to be funny to me, but I can't. He whine on stage, whine in the movies. It's I don't know. It's like a Keith Sweat song. Always whining. It's irritating.
Yeah, but honestly, I think Keith Sweat got more talent. So I mean, I'd rather listen to whining than listen to yelling and talking about the same bullshit on a constant basis. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like I say, I'm not mad at the man. I'm not even hating on the man. You know what I'm saying? To each his own, man. Look, if you like it, I love it. Fuck it.
I mean, yeah.
But it's like I say, so I mean, people, watch that shit and
if Kevin Hart isn't funny, how is he so successful as a comedian?
Some people like
it. Because why he's so successful as a comedian? Because different people got different types of humor. People got different sense of humor, bro. I just, like I said, I'm different. I'm old school, so I'm used to the Richard Pryors and the, you know what I'm saying, and the Eddie Murphys and the Earthquakes and honestly, like I said, Dave Chappelle, like, you know what I'm saying, hell, let's go here, let's go with Mr. the great late Harris, you know what I'm saying, like those brothers was fucking hilarious, you know what I'm saying,
None of these motherfuckers were successful. So how fucking funny?
What you mean? You said
Robin Harris? Robin Harris.
He died before his time.
Chance to even be successful.
That man died before his time. That man would have been great if he lived past his time. That man died before his time.
Hilarious, who lived to be 90 in this game and didn't reach
that's what I'm saying.
What this motherfucker has accomplished.
Right.
So
Yeah, but it's the same principle like you talked about, bro.
Debating. I'm just asking a simple question. If he is completely not
he's
funny,
the face.
he's dead on arrival.
He's the face of Hollywood, so to speak. Now, those people that
Long
pick
before he's
okay, well, fuck
long before. Hold on.
Let's go to a great history lesson then. Let's go into a history lesson then. Since you want to say that, Hitler said if you tell a lie long enough, people actually believe that shit. So people believe that he's fucking funny. You know what I'm saying? So guess what?
If people believe it,
motherfucker's face long enough, if they're going to believe he's funny, then that's what it is.
If people believe it, then why are so many people saying that he isn't funny? Obviously, it doesn't have anything to do with marketing or constant promotion. That's the same thing people say about music. When it comes down to it, you must.
Okay, let me ask you a question then. Okay, let me ask you a question, P. With every great comedian, every great songwriter, every great rapper, every great actor, it's that one line that you remember in your head that was a great line, right? Okay. That was a great quote, right? That you remember, right?
No. I don't know anything about remembering the line. No, I don't agree with that. But what's your point?
No, let me ask. Oh, okay. So,
are you asking me for a Kevin Hart punchline? There's thousands.
give me a Kevin Hart punchline that's funny.
Bump, dear bruh. I mean, the nigga had a slew of them just in one stand up. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm not trying to analyze comedy because it's like analyzing art. You can't. All I'm saying is, how come he is so successful? See, people quick to say, well, you know, they put him in a whole bunch of movies. That's why. No. Long before,
the smart.
Hold on. Long before that man made it to that point, he was in the clubs, just like every other comedian. There is no other way. Okay?
Not for a comedian.
For comedians. He was in the clubs with these gentlemen from the highest up to his level and then below, people who also just never reached that status, but they are fucking geniuses in the game. They're writers and shit like that. The point is, he's been around these people for decades. He rocked the same clubs as Chappelle and Chris Rock, his friends, all these dudes, Patrice O'Neal, and so on and so forth. How in the world did he make it out of that? Long before there was ever a movie. So if he's just not funny at all,
how did he do it?
How did he do it then? He gotta be fucking funny.
He was funny at one point to me, and when he first came.
Oh, okay. Well, DJ Inshai say he was at least the old him is. A lot of people were saying the old him was funny, and the new him. Look, as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, the new him isn't necessarily a new him. I think what you're dealing with is someone who has been dealing with isolation, depression, marital problems, issues, a lot of hardships. He was in a car accident, damn near lost the ability to walk. All of this shit public. Close friendships with people who continue to move up that might have to distance themselves from him. Right? Like, say, The Rock, for instance. I don't know if this is, I'm just giving an example, but The Rock's people might say, hey, with everything going on with Kevin Hart, it's not a good look. You're a family man, He got to rebuild. You don't know what's going on in the background. And so that's why I say, let me bring Luck back up on here. That's why I was just saying, like, I don't think you're looking at a new Kevin Hart, because I've never heard a real comedian, especially at that level of bread making, go into the public to describe their joke. Okay. To me, that's something you do when you're upset in defense, right? When you say I don't give a fuck, usually it's because you care a whole lot. Like when somebody say I hate this person, it's usually because they love that person so much they can't stand it. You know, it's twisted. And so I just wanted to touch on it. I don't know. I think Kevin Hart is probably one of the greatest hustlers comedy has ever had.
I think the best
Now
line
that
this year
that we can agree
he
on.
made that movie. And he was like, my movie number
Yeah, that
one.
we can agree on.
Number one. He was there.
He's made several films that I thought were fucking hilarious. Several of them. You know, I don't know about his stand-up. I don't even get into all that shit like that. I just sit and watch it, and I either enjoyed it or, you know, I wouldn't even say, I don't think I could sit and watch something and not enjoy it in some fucking way. But I'm different. Shit. Other way. I just wanted to say, since it's Motivation Monday, that 2KF, you know, hey man, some of the greatest comedians smoke crack, you know, had cocaine addictions, right? Commit suicide, plagued by depression, right? Don't stop fucking doing comedy. Kevin Hart talking about maybe it's time for me to retire. Don't fucking stop doing comedy just because people are seemingly not enjoying it. And so you're not enjoying it. Fuck out of here. Most comedians did not enjoy their careers. Okay. So you got to let that shit continue to live inside you, because that's where the joy you get comes from. Right. Kevin Hart is very fucking motivational. He even has a little show on Snapchat about getting your ass up and getting on the grind. I don't know if Kevin Hart be in his house every fucking day with his wife doing fucking calisthenics and shit, or if that's just marketing and promotion. But whatever it is, I think the man has done very well in his home city, in his hometown. He get with all the rappers. He do a lot of shit for the community all the time. He's a good man, you know, in that sense. And we human. I think it's difficult to see somebody get that big and do some human shit, because you and I are human and we have not been that big. And so you don't know what the fuck. You're just like, oh shit, I thought he was different than me. Nah, he just like you and me. Worse, probably a lot worse. Got a good heart, but you know, do some fucked up shit. Either way, Motivation Monday, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Yeah. This is dirt off your shoulder. It's your job, Kev. You got to bring the joy out of people, especially when it's most dark, especially for you. What did y'all think about the Tyson Jones fight?
Comedy. That was another comedy show on its own.
That one was funnier.
Bruh. When they was getting up doing them these numbers, I'm like, what? Nah, just put your shirt on and go back.
I tell y'all like this. I had started watching it on some bootleg shit. I was like watching somebody else watching that shit on Facebook. And then I was wow. I want to see it. But when I was watching it like that, I think I might have watched maybe 3 rounds. Man, that shit looked like they was play fighting.
Right.
But when it came in 4K UHD, Mike Tyson looked like he was turned Roy Jones into a body bag to move around the ring. God, oh, you can see his man. They wasn't playing around in there. Roy Jones at the end of that fight looked like never again.
In the fight, you mean the first round?
But I give him kudos. You know what I'm saying? To both of them, man.
Much proud. But shit, but that shit was funny.
Hey, not to be funny, is Roy Jones must have really missed Mike because he hugged him a whole lot.
He lucky he didn't bite his ear off.
Well, I think he should have bit off his ear and had a matching set for Evander Holyfield. He should have bit off the opposite ear. You know, I mean, look,
I was charity fight. So.
You know, Mike Tyson was 100 pounds overweight. Right. You know, the man 54, 55 years old. He went through a lot. He experienced a lot of trauma. You know, all these people. Mike Tyson went through depression and all kind of shit. Remember, his career didn't like end on a good note. We remember him as the fucking heavyweight champion, my Iron Mike. But I mean, he went through a lot of terrible things. Some of them things I don't even want to even say it. Like I don't even want to bring out that vibe of the things that he suffered. But his passion is in boxing. And that's the same thing I was saying about Kid. Whatever, you know, however a motherfucker fight or tell a joke. If that's your passion, you know, it felt good to see Mike Tyson get back to doing what I know he's probably been wanting to do
for the
longest. That's your real therapy is your passion.
Yeah.
Right?
So I think Mike's next fight, I think Mike should fight a real fighter. I think Mike should come out the gate and knock his motherfucking head off.
Mike a little slow.
I wonder if they'll ever like officiate anything that Mike Tyson might do, because there's a history and there's a reason why
he did it
beyond their age, why this shit was unofficial. But yeah, I mean, shit, man. Shout out to them, both of them. Roy Jones, you're a madman.
Well, I do want to give kudos out to Nate Robinson. I do. Everybody clowning that man or whatever, but it took a lot of bravery for that man to get in the ring. You know, so people making memes about the dude or whatever, and I laughed at a few of them. I thought the shit was hilarious, bro. But honestly, bro, that man got a lot of fucking heart. He got most heart than most. You know what I'm saying? So for him to step in that ring, dude, you know what I'm saying, and get knocked out like that, you know what I'm saying? You know, I can't do nothing but give that man kudos for even stepping in that motherfucker.
You got to. He kept rushing in. You know that was the big mistake. He kept rushing in.
That was a mistake.
He could have stayed that shit at home.
Yeah. You know.
But, you know, Jake Paul is a professional fucking boxer. I don't give a shit what he used to do. That's what he is now.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You talking shit. People talking shit like, oh, you know, honestly, I think if the average motherfucker would have gotten in the ring with that dude, you know, got knocked out.
I think that's a fact, unless you just happen to have hella skills and crazy natural strength. Your win, you might not have the win. It's always going to be an exception. Like when I ran track in college, I just went to do it because I was fast in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you fast. You should run track. And I went, you know, and I went for the 100-yard dash and shit like that. And I was very fast. I was a lot faster than I thought, and I was as fast as people had said that I was. But I didn't have any wind at all. You know, I just get a good sprint, you know, enough to escape a dog or police real quick or something, you know. I didn't have like long. So the coach made me run with the Jamaicans. You know, I had to run with the Jamaicans, and they just did infinite laps.
Yeah, you was running.
Yeah, just sun up to sundown, just still going around the track. It was crazy as hell, but it built something new within me. Good shit. Little advice: if you intend on being a coach, telling a motherfucker that you know, the negative stuff and leaving out all the good stuff doesn't always work with everybody. Sometimes you gotta use good positive reinforcement and encouragement. Damn, my coach was just an asshole. He lied about my 100-yard dash time, and then he waited until I was done to tell me that I was my time was the fastest and all this type of shit. Either way, that's my own personal shit. But yeah. Another thing about the fight before we move on. Lil Wayne actually was supposed to perform fight night.
What?
Did you know that?
Nah, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did.
He went on social media.
He said he canceled at the last minute.
He canceled at the last moment.
Kind of Snoop Dogg had the show.
Snoop stepped in. So guess what? You know,
he got picked up for some stuff.
You can actually thank Lil Wayne for some shit,
right?
Before the end of 2020.
Let him commentate
Lil Wayne for Snoop Dogg's performance. And on top of that, Snoop did a hell of a job singing gospel hymns and shit like that while Nate was sleeping in the ring. It's gonna be a minute before he get past that one, ain't it? But that's a 2020 Christmas miracle. Thank you, Lil Wayne. Give Lil Wayne a hand. And now we're going to move into a segment that we call Rhyme and Reason. Welcome if y'all just now tuning in to the Fuck Out of Here podcast. We're here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you subscribe. I want to get into this Rhyme and Reason before I get into the trippy timelines, which is what we usually go right into. But I just want to speak on this real quick. It's just been in the air. Am I the only one? Just left eye. I just find myself like I was looking at like old TLC videos and shit one night, and I'm talking to my homeboy like the following day, and he's like, "Yeah, I was looking at the documentary, Left Eye documentary." I said, "Yeah, I was looking at the Left Eye documentary." I just thought I'd throw that out there and see if anybody else has that in the air. Was y'all into TLC at all, or what? Is that just me? I know it ain't just me.
Waterfalls my favorite shit. Waterfalls is my shit. Yeah, that was my shit.
I don't know. I mean, I love all that shit, really. So it's not really just one, but Waterfalls was a heart-touching song and video.
Yeah, so, you get your girl in the bedroom, you know what I'm saying? Your parents gone, you hit that red light special. Boop. They love that red light special. No, I'm just messing with you.
Well, I did like No Scrubs, but I like the reply. I like the reply a little bit better.
Yeah, my people's that's his people's. Shout out my ace JB out there, wherever you at. That's his people made that song. No Pigeons. That's the one you talking about.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was my shit. That was my shit.
Everybody always said Left Eye was ahead of her time. I remember listening to she had an album that she was working on just before she died. Right?
Yeah, it was gonna be on.
Yeah, that's my shit.
It was gonna be on Death Row.
Yeah, and
it was gonna come off of Death Row.
At the time, I was in college in Texas, and I would go to the Death Row website, and you could listen to pieces of it. I think homeboy we were chopping it with Big Luck. Eastwood was the one basically behind that whole album. I think.
Clint? Did you say Clint?
Eastwood from Death Row.
Clint. Oh, Oh, I thought we was going back to the Western days. I was gonna say,
You know I'm talking about, Big Luck?
Nigga, yeah. And I'm gonna say, Will, I'm gonna need you to stop dipping your Newports.
hey, you shouldn't be giving them to me then.
Nigga, Clint Eastwood and Death Row, my nigga. Are you fucking serious? I didn't even know Clint Eastwood was part of Death Row. If that's the case, big up to Clint Eastwood.
He made Death Row. What you talking about? He made Death Row.
He did, huh?
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
He's the one with the
He
big
was
gun.
the real Suge
oh,
Knight.
okay.
He just would look at Suge.
No, oh, okay. I got you. Oh, okay. You
And
niggas
Suge
is hilarious.
shit that we seen. It was Clint Eastwood's fault.
Oh, okay.
$1 million baby.
That's why I should keep fucking people out of his money talking about make my day.
Suge ain't doing
Right.
nothing. He can't even see.
Well, Suge renamed Left Eye Nina. And that was the name of that album. And she seemingly had some dope shit on there, especially at that time. It was different. It was newer. Excuse me, pardon me. It was kind of reminiscent of some Tupac kind of vibe stuff that she was on. I think that was like her page anyway, where she always wanted to go. So she was definitely finding herself at Death Row, and she was changing from what they were saying. I don't know how much, but it was called The Row, I think, at that point. But they said, you know, she had everybody over there detoxing. Nobody was drinking. She had people, you know, changing their diets, and you know, she was a whole vibe. Left Eye. She was a very special artist. It was a trip. It was a trip how that happened so quickly and so early in her life. But yeah, rest in peace to Left Eye. I don't know. She, like I said, maybe it's just me. I don't know. But I just wondered if it was up in the air or if that was just a coincidence between myself and a friend of mine. But
no doubt.
I don't know. Yeah, TLC was the shit though. Trippy timelines. We going back to Wheezy for a moment. Lil Wayne is promoting his No Ceilings 3 along with some lyrics in there about Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? He pumping the Trump.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
In a tweet about the POTUS on the way out, he said, just had a great meeting with the real Donald Trump. Besides what he's done so far with criminal reform, the Platinum Plan is going to give the community real ownership. He listened to what we had to say today and assured he will and can get it done. That was Wheezy in response to that photo that we all saw. You know, we talked about Lil Wayne recently. We talked about him, you know, not seeing himself as black, seeing the world kind of black and white, rich and poor kind of thing. We talked about his Stockholm syndrome from having been saved in a sense as a child who shot himself, and first person to arrive on the scene was a white police officer. And this is kind of what stems from this. This is what he would always jump back to whenever he was asked about why he called Black Lives Matter weird and he didn't believe in racism and shit like that. So we kind of know where that kind of stems from. And then he talks about being rich as supporting basis for there couldn't possibly be racism if I'm rich, you know. And when he goes on stage, because he kind of lives in a bubble, you know. And so when he would go on stage, all he sees is, you know, a white audience. It's like, well, what racism the fuck are y'all talking about? You know, so there's an understanding. Plus, Lil Wayne started very young in the music industry. We saw him confused when he went on 106 in Park. Free was talking to Birdman. She said, how do the girls you know, she was trying to mack him probably, but she's like, you know, how did the girls, Birdman, how do they kiss you with all this platinum and diamonds and shit in your mouth? And Lil Wayne jumped up, young Lil Wayne, confused. He jumped up. No, ain't no girls kissing. Only person he's kissing is me. And Lil Wayne climbed over the people and kissed Birdman on the lips. They cut that shit out of the rebroadcast of 106 in Park because, you know, they used to film it live, right. The live audience and shit. They cut it out the rebroadcast and shit like that. So we recognize that he didn't see the mafioso thing the way that Birdman saw it. And he's confused, young man. But I digress. We all know Lil Wayne is talented. We heard Lizzo talk about how a lot of money and fame can take the little shit, the issues that you have, and personify them, right? You know, take them to an entirely different level, unresolved issues. Money did it to Bill Cosby, R. Kelly. It brought their shit out and put it on a, you know, a gigantic steroid level. Harvey Weinstein, Epstein, all these men, and all the women that helped them, because there were women helping some of these people. They would prey on vulnerable people. But still, people watch the Cosby Show. People still listen to R. Kelly's albums. People still watch films from, you know, Weinstein co-owned Miramax. You know, people still watch the movies. So what do y'all think when Lil Wayne dropped this album? What do you think is going to be the response? Are people going to consider all this shit that he said in the past and his feelings about things, his political assertions and whatnot? What do you think? Do you think this shit matters in a Lil Wayne audience and world of hip hop?
I think that it might hurt his album sales because a lot of people don't like, you know, your president, you know. So, I mean, I think by him doing that, it might have damaged his career a little bit. You know.
You think he might have picked up a new audience, or that audience isn't concerned with his music anyway or him?
Really? Well, if the Klan buy a Lil Wayne album, I'll be surprised.
Me too. The other episode, I called him Clayton Bigsby. I haven't heard anything back from him about that, but I thought that shit was funny. Either way, DJ Inch High. How do you feel? Do you think that some of the shit that Lil Wayne has said in recent times and what he's done in the past, you know,
well,
do you think his politics will play a role in his record sales and streaming?
I think it'll play a little role in his record sales. I mean, he's a talented young man.
Very talented.
So I think in some form or fashion, in a small time, he'll bounce back because everybody, hopefully, his sake.
Whose television is on?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. Continue, please. Somebody watching Dragon Ball Z or some shit?
I don't know.
All right, moving on.
No.
Goodness gracious. Thank you all, by the way. Let me mention this before we get off into a little gaming.
You would.
For all of those who listen on the following day, by the way, if you're in the chat, my bad. I just recognize that it's a ridiculous amount of comments. Shout out KJ Prodigal. Shout out Baby D, not the one from Friday. Thank y'all for watching, and I want to shout out to everybody. No, that was DJ Inside that came up with that.
I didn't call Baby D
that Baby D.
I was like, hey, baby D.
Man, you made a next Friday reference. But
Baby D.
everybody who listens on Apple Podcasts, everybody who listens on Pandora, if you're listening now, of course that would be tomorrow. Everybody who listens on iHeartMedia, iHeartRadio podcast, man, thank you. We've been getting a serious amount of affection.
Thank you very much.
And we're in love with you. That's really good shit, man. I didn't expect that. And so I hope that we continue to do the thing that makes you do what you do. And moving on. Who's been looking to get a PS5 or an Xbox Series X?
Well, it won't be this Christmas.
For Christmas.
And you won't be getting it.
Why did the price go down?
No, there's only a limit.
Smoking Xbox Series X's.
There's a limit.
Complaints on Twitter. It's kind of crazy. So look, I just really wanted to know what was really happening because they started making memes, and I'm like, maybe people are just trying to deter people from being ahead of them in line or being more people that they have to fight against to get the next release of consoles. So I went to the best place you can go to get the truth today. The best place in the world to get the truth today on the internet, in the world of illusions, clout chasing, and cap. Ultimate cap. Cap living. People live the cap. They live inside of a cap. Except in one place. The comment section. The comment section is raw, y'all. I'd be like, nah, I ain't going.
Uh-oh.
Depending on what I'm reading, I'm like, nah, I'm not going down there. It's crazy down there. You read shit, you be like, damn, that should be bothering me later on that night. Damn, I shouldn't have read the motherfucking comments. Fuck. And it'd be stuck in my head too. Yeah, black people, you're something, bitch. And then they gone and you can't argue with them. They troll. And it just be stuck on you. But I went to the comment section on Best Buy for the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. If you are looking to get one and you missed it, I think you should visit those comment sections. At Walmart. Walmart is even better. Go down in the comment section and what you will see is a whole bunch of people that's like, they were the first to get it, right? There's more 1 stars than there are anything else on both systems. People are like, my shit worked for 1 day, and it's a whole bunch of people.
Wow.
On both sides. Yeah, mine started smoking. Mine caught on fire. This is some bullshit. I call this number. Right? Ain't nothing you can do about it. Big Luck said it on the show. I thought it before the show. We all knew it. You don't really want the first batch of anything because if that shit starts smoking, there's no downloading firmware to fix that shit. That's it.
Yes, they do. They got a fire extinguisher app.
How you gonna turn that motherfucker on and install that app?
Oh, shit. Yeah, they gotta put out your video game app, nigga. Just put out your game, nigga, as soon as it starts smoking.
Oh damn. So you know, I ain't played video games in years, y'all, but shit.
So in other words, you telling me, bro, that these motherfuckers got a self-destruct mechanism in their game system. So what is it? Because what? I mean, How's that shit work? What, you turn off your game system and then it blows up because
Like
they don't want you to turn it
007.
off, or like how does that work? And then when you buy your game system, do it say this?
007.
When you buy the game system, this motherfucker say we will self-destruct in 5, 4, 3, 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn.
Hey,
Yeah,
right.
like, you know, nah, my nigga, but I don't want that, my nigga. I'm telling you, my nigga. It's a lot of shit, my nigga, that our people need to understand. You need to let that shit go through the test phase first. Let everybody buy that shit. Let them blow systems blow up or fuck up, or, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the shit may be, from shots to motherfucking game systems. Nigga, let them get that shit out the way. Let them perfect it first before you go over and get that shit. Nigga, I might wait a whole year before I do anything.
That's what I'm talking about. You got to be patient.
Yeah, you got to be patient, bro.
You know, the ring of death that murdered the Xbox for years.
Yeah. Now they got the ring of explosion.
Yeah, you got to wait till they fix that shit. Remember, that's the same thing that happened with the Samsung phone, the one that Lil Wayne was in the commercial pouring the champagne on it, dunking it in the damn fish tank and shit. Yeah, that became the exploding phone.
Wasn't that the Note 8?
Yeah, that shit was. No, it was the
10.
No, it was the
No.
the 9, and it wasn't the Note in particular. It was the S.
Okay.
Because the Note, I don't think it was waterproof yet. But the S, the Galaxy S9, I think it was, or something like that, or the 7, one of those two, became the exploding phone. So there you go. You went and bought the phone because you saw Lil Wayne pouring champagne on it, and then it blew up.
So these motherfuckers are making landmines now, right? Look, okay, so I'll tell you what. Nigga, you want to blow up the spot, nigga, just buy your game system, my nigga. Go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? It's booby trapped and everything. Get all you want.
Won't cost you much. Just cost you $500.
The funny thing about it,
500, I thought it was more than that. You know, you talking about 500 plus games and extra controllers.
No, I wasn't even talking about the games. I was just talking about the game system.
Yeah, and then since it was $500, how many motherfuckers actually paid for a warranty because it was already $500?
That part.
It was a lot, and I don't think the warranty would cover the problems that the issues that it had. But the Xbox Series X and the Xbox One are like the same thing. Did you know that?
Yeah.
A lot of people are not aware
I do not.
that the last Xbox is the same as the new one, except for the specs. You get into the specs, you go and look at the specs, and then you realize, well, it's a super computer and shit like that. Let me see. Let's get into it. How about that? Just in case you really give a shit.
One.
The Xbox Series X has the most powerful graphics processing chip ever. Okay. Even greater than the PS5, which is why it's big as hell. So it can breathe. Right? You know, the faster, right? The heat. So you need it to be cool. Right? So it's giant, so it can breathe. It has 12 teraflops of power and 52 compute units running at 1.8 gigahertz, and the GPU is doing everything in at 4K, 60 frames per second. This is like the evolution of what people expect from gaming consoles since, the Genesis dropped with the 16-bit shit, and Nintendo was 64, and I guess Xbox is like, yeah, we gonna dominate that.
Well, can I ask you one question?
Smoking systems, huh?
Well, can I ask you one question on that?
Absolutely.
Okay, for one, if they put all that shit, fucking air conditioner in that bitch to keep it cool enough so it wouldn't blow up the motherfucker.
That's what they should have done.
Yeah, and then for two, if they had enough room to put all that shit in there, it's like I said, they put They should have put the fire extinguisher system in that motherfucker so it wouldn't blow up. So they missed two major components. They missed the air conditioning system to keep that motherfucker cool, and they missed a mini fire department to be in that motherfucker to stop it from blowing up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I need to go back. Yeah, so I need to go back, nigga, and re-inspect their specs and install some new shit. You know what I'm saying?
The funny thing about all of this graphic chasing that the consoles do sometimes is that the highest selling games in history, two of them at least, I think number 1 and number 3 in the top selling games ever are like Tetris and what was it? Like Minecraft, I think. 2 games that are 8-bit, motherfucker. I don't care what you're playing it on.
Damn.
Yeah.
Have 0 graphics. And they're the highest selling games in the history of games. So it's just kind of funny, ironic.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. You want to be funny? I want a ColecoVision. I want a ColecoVision with Donkey Kong. They only had 3 levels.
I don't know why you would go. Hey, I'm pretty sure there's an emulator out there you can download to your phone and plug that TV, broadcast it to your TV. You'd be good. We're in the age of technology. But let's get into some American-born European news drama. Yeah.
Oh boy.
9:57. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I want to get into this real quick. And one more other thing before we go. See how much time we have. I just thought this was kind of funny. Have you guys heard about Johnny Depp and his ex-wife's divorce? Like that shit.
Oh,
yeah. So either way, Aquaman 2 receives upwards of 1.5 million signatures following Johnny Depp's Fantastic Beasts departure. Apparently, studio personnel, in response to Johnny Depp being dropped from Fantastic Beasts sequel, have petitioned to remove his ex-wife from the upcoming Aquaman 2. I just thought that was funny.
Wow.
So it's going down over there. I don't really want to get into all the details.
Because
divorce and shit, but
I don't know.
That's funny.
Maybe he afraid that she might get the big Aqua. I don't know.
I think it's more like, since you gonna take Johnny Depp from, J.K. Rowling, right? Then we're gonna fucking take you out of your major movies. You know what I'm saying? Because it was all about violence, right? I guess they had fights. Yeah. It was said that she was very abusive, and she put it out there that basically, I guess, he was abusive. And so it went back and forth. Johnny Depp always denied it. From what I read, she's kind of known for that kind of shit. And so
she got away with that shit.
Right. So it really was, did Johnny Depp hit her back kind of thing? And basically he sued the Sun newspaper because they called him a wife beater.
Yeah.
And he lost that case.
Mm-hmm.
And so at that point, they had to drop him because his kids found. You know what I'm saying? So with that being ultimately judicial fact, they had to drop him. J.K. Rowling really did not want to do that. The writer and author of Harry Potter and all that. It's a trip. But before we go, it's 9:59, and I want to tell you guys that World War III has begun. If you did not know, it's the Cold War part. The Cold War part.
Oh, okay.
But yes, it has begun. The world's nuclear balance has just shifted as of the other day, when just outside of Earth's atmosphere, one missile struck another. So let me give you some background. The missiles were obviously dummy missiles being used in an exercise of the latest technology in interception. You know what interception is? You watch football.
Yep.
So as the missile representing a foreign nuke flew, into space and heading towards the U.S. mainland, satellites marked it, alerted an Air Force base in Colorado, which communicated with a Navy destroyer. DJ Inch knows all about that kind of shit over there in Hawaii. The ship fired its own missile from there and intercepted it. So now that America has a shield, it changes everything, right? So new scenarios come into play. The old scenarios were basically, look, if I launch my shit, you're going to launch your shit and we both, it's the end of the world, or the end of our countries. A very horrible disaster and tragedy, right? They call it MAD. What's MAD stand for, DJ Inside? Let me see.
Oh, man, it's been so long.
I know you know, too. It's like mutual assured destruction.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what kept the peace in the world for the longest time, is that I can't launch mine because you're going to launch yours. And that's not a fun game to play. You can't win. Right.
Yeah.
That's basically been our peace. So now that America has changed that, the arms race has begun again. Right. So I thought it was pretty crazy that the world powers only had peace because, you
know what's funny though? Well, not really funny, is that they're worried about having a space war amongst each other. But think about it. If we worry so much about the space wars, somebody's gonna be smart enough and be like, well, let's take it back old school and go land. So they really need to be strategic on their planning of how they gonna handle shit when shit goes down.
Oh, what up, CNB? We got CNB watching on Facebook, y'all.
What up, Jay?
Yo.
I wish I'm gonna have to bring you on the show if you're still watching, man. I have to bring you on the next show. I want you to chime in on some of this stuff we were talking about earlier in the show. We were talking about Kevin Hart and all the comedians. I would love to have your input on that. CNB, y'all, we go way back to the Sandbox. I've known that dude since we were 4 years old. But he's a comedian. Damn. He's a stand-up. And he has a well of knowledge and that type of shit. Oh, yeah, he's still in here. But, yeah, I'm going to have to bring you in, man. We about to end the show right about now. I love that y'all came to chill with us. We are here every Monday and Wednesday and Friday, of course, at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay? Make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, make sure you like the page, follow. We also have FOH Podcast.com. Fuck out of here, podcast.com, y'all. And from there, you can listen to all of the shows. They're archived there. We are also available on Apple, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio. Hey, see you when we see you. It's been fun. Thank everybody for tuning in. Peace. You got to get the